everybody, and welcome back to my channel. My name's Laura, and today we're doing another pick a card tarot and oracle reading, and this time we are asking the question, how does this person feel about you and your connection now that you're in separation? So this is for any of you who may not be in contact with someone that you used to be heavily in contact with, for example, an ex or an old friend, an old lover, someone that you're not on speaking terms with anymore. How do they feel about you? How do they feel about the connection? So ask this question out loud to yourself, to your spirit guides, to the universe, whatever. And I want you to clearly state the person that you are asking about. Okay? Once you have done that, take a look at all three of these groups that are on screen and select whichever one you feel most drawn to. We have group number 1, group number 2, and group number 3. And while I have you here, I want to talk about a lovely company named Otter Spirit. They make beautiful jewelry such as these bracelets out of natural, high quality gemstones, minerals, and things of that nature. And it's so wonderful. Their website is set up so that there is different intentions that you can select, and it'll show you all of the jewelry that is aligned with that intention and will help amplify that intention. For example, if you want more prosperity in your life or more love, protection, confidence, you just click on that word and it'll show you all of their pieces that are aligned with that. It takes all of the guesswork out of selecting which stones are for what, and I highly, highly recommend it. I will leave a link to their website in the comment section as well as the description box, and a coupon code for 20% off will pop up in your cart. So very beautiful. I highly recommend you check them out. And without further ado, let's begin your readings. If you're still selecting your group, take your time, pause this video. But let's begin with group number 1. Hello, group number 1, and welcome. Let's see how your person is feeling about you and your connection while you're in separation. You guys selected the rune called Urus, and it is coming out in this upright position. And this is, to me, showing a lot of confidence coming from your person, but I do wonder if some of this confidence is actually arrogance. So if you had some sort of feeling or signs that the person we're asking about has a bit of an ego, or if that was a problem that you had in your relationship, I'm seeing here that they're still approaching life from this very strong ego way of thinking, if that makes sense. So yeah, let's see what else comes out. So the energy oracle, we have the sun, which does show happiness. It does show confidence. We have hostilities in reverse. Okay, so the things that caused you guys to separate, like whatever the drama was, whatever the argument was, I don't feel like they're holding any grudges anymore. I feel like they're looking back on this relationship with a lot of positive energy and intention, and they look back on this relationship with you with a lot of fondness. With the Sun card here, they still love you. They love the connection that you guys had, but clearly there was some hostilities at some point in time. And those hostilities may have had some roots either in them having some sort of like physical issue. I don't know why. I'm seeing like how the physical body meets the mind. So they may not have been taking good care of themselves physically. For example, like maybe they weren't eating enough, or their diet, their exercise, their everything was just junk. And that has an effect on the mind as well. And those mental effects may have been what contributed greatly to this separation. Okay, so this person is trying to take better care of themselves. I think they know that they like where they were in the wrong here. I mean, I'm not blaming all of the problems that you guys had on them. However, the problems that were on them, they are starting to recognize, especially with the Sun card here. It shows like being enlightened, seeing things clearly. And so, yeah, even if they won't admit it because they have a strong ego or arrogance here, they understand where you were coming from with whatever this separation was. And I feel like they're trying at this time, like during your separation, to take better care of themselves, better care of their body, mind, and soul. So they could have been, for example, like trying to work out more, get some muscles on them, trying to eat better, improve their diet, whatever. And this could be the type of person where even before you guys had this separation, they had a really hard time taking consistently like good care of themselves. They may have neglected parts of themselves a lot previously, like maybe they weren't eating enough, maybe they weren't getting enough sleep, whatever. And this is someone who is trying so hard to like take that good care of themselves consistently. And I feel like one of the things that sort of may have caused the separation is they could have been emotionally unavailable, and justifying that emotional unavailability with the excuse of like, oh, well, I can barely take care of myself. Like I need to start a consistent routine for myself. I need to get my life in order before I can worry about another relationship. That could have been their reasoning for not wanting to be with you, or not wanting to take this to the next level, or something that contributed to the downfall of this relationship in some way, shape, or form. Okay, like they just felt like they needed to be by themselves and learn how to take good care of themselves consistently, because in their mind they were like, how can I take care of this relationship if I can barely take care of myself? And they feared, especially with the Sun card here, that their emotions for you would get so strong that they would give a lot of themselves to you and let their own personal self-care slide in the process and sort of abandon their ambitions, their dreams, their goals. So that may have been why this person was coming from a place of like emotional unavailability. And I'm just picking that up naturally. There's nothing in the cards that suggests emotional unavailability. I just feel that could have been a contributing cause for this separation. Okay. We have the full moon in Aries, a fiery climax approaches. I definitely feel like this person still fantasizes about you in a sexual manner. Just being honest, like if you had that type of relationship, I feel like for sure they think that you were one of the most passionate lovers they've shared if you've had that with them. And they're having a really hard time shaking that feeling of like soul-shattering spiritual connection with you. Does that make sense? So yeah, they feel very, very passionately about you. They're extremely attracted to you, and that's one thing that they're having a hard time shaking, I'm seeing, with the full moon in Aries. We have crossed coming out with the number 13, choices, stuck, searching for purpose, daydreaming, and indecision. Yeah, to me, this is showing they're not 100% over you. Yeah. They definitely have gotten over the anger, okay? If there was hostilities towards the beginning of the separation or the end of your being in contact, they are over that. They're not angry at you. They don't hate you. Nothing of that sort. However, with crossed here, like they're really still stuck on you. I feel that strongly. In their mind, I feel like they view you as someone they have a strong soul connection with. If this person is spiritual, they really think like you are one of their soulmates, and they can't really imagine having that same high level connection that they had with you with someone else. They're having a hard time really being attracted to other people because of that high level sort of attraction they had towards you. So they could be a little bit stuck on you, daydreaming about this, but what are you gonna do? All right, romance. Yeah, this is a pretty big and clear sign. If you guys are asking about a relationship that didn't share romance, I'm not saying you chose the wrong pile, but you might have. I mean, even if this was just a friendship, if you psychically felt like this person had feelings for you, go with that, because there is a lot of romantic feelings still here that I'm picking up from them. I don't think they moved on. I feel like they still are strongly attracted to you, even though you're in separation. And we have big happy changes. There is happiness here for some reason. So it's not that they're miserable. Like I said, they're taking better care of themselves. They are trying to take care of their mental health, go after their dreams, all of that stuff. And there's a lot of confidence here, but I almost feel like another reason why this may have ended, why this may have gone into separation, could be because this person may have really big ambitions and dreams for themselves. They could be a creator of some sort, whether that's music, writing, art, whatever. And for some reason, they have this weird notion in their head that they need to accomplish something in that before they, quote unquote, allow themselves to really dive into these high level romantic relationships, which is really like dumb. I feel like people need to learn, like, you can have a balance in life. Like, you can have very healthy, beautiful relationships while also still pursuing your goals, wishes, and dreams. And I think the healthiest of relationships, they aren't all consuming. You know, you still have your own life. This person, you know, what may have happened, if you know their story, they could have had parents or people growing up that they saw who were in very codependent relationships, like obsessed with each other. And so they may associate being in a relationship with that high level codependency, you know, and they sort of feared the two of you going in that direction. So they may have self-sabotaged this relationship. Yeah, crossed. They were stuck. Okay. I share all of my feelings with you. So I feel like what they already said to you about how they feel is accurate, or was accurate. They weren't lying. Everything that was genuinely on their mind, they told you. Okay. Whoo! I'm not over my ex. And also we have, I only have eyes for you. So if you are this person's ex, I mean, yeah, they're not over you. You know what this is, though, with this combination? It's not, I don't think they would romantically get back with an ex of theirs, you know? However, I feel like an ex of theirs before you may have really messed up their notion of love and what it means to be in a relationship, like really, really badly. Yeah. And they may not have really fully healed from that or fully moved on from that. And so they may have carried that drama into your relationship as well. But I gotta be honest with you guys, it feels like for a lot of you, not all of you, but for a lot of you, this person hasn't been with anyone else since you guys separated. Like, they're just not interested because, like I said, it's hard for them they may have tried. And this isn't gonna resonate for everyone. Like, there are certainly some of you watching where you might be like, I know for a fact they've been with other people. Like, that's fine. But for a lot of you, I feel like this person like may have even tried like using dating apps or tried to be with other people or whatever, go on dates, but it felt wrong to them because they still have these really strong feelings towards you. Wow. What else? How are they feeling about this separation? 10 of Wands in reverse with the Death card in reverse. Yeah, guys. Death in reverse, major sign. Like, there's so many cards here. Crossed, I only have eyes for you, I'm not over my ex. Romance, full moon in Aries, that tell me they still have the hots for you, okay? Like, they're not over you. 10 of Wands coming out before that, though, I feel like there was too much going on. This person was under a lot of stress before your separation, and they felt like they just needed to purge everything from their life. Like, they just couldn't do it. So, this person might not have taken the best care of their mental health and well-being, whether it's being overworked or just having too much stuff on their plate and not enough like grounded focus. They might not have had the room for a relationship that was healthy and thriving. 9 of Wands. Wow, great strength, it says. And this says oppression, by the way. This is from the Heaven and Earth Tarot. Yeah, they're still hurting from, like I said, they don't have hostilities towards you anymore. They don't have anger, but they are certainly still hurting a little bit from how this separation came to be. Yeah, they're wounded. And they're trying everything in their power right now to, hold themselves together. They may use their ego, like this sort of arrogant vibe about them to keep strong. It's a mask to help them like stay put together and not completely crumble. But yeah, they're still feeling very hurt over this. I don't know what y'all did to them or what they did to you. 3 of Wands in reversed, established strength. I'm also getting this feeling of like them feeling like they should have been further along in life than they are right now. Like their dreams have not been manifested, and I don't know, there's a part of them that may have felt like because they have this spiritual connection to you, that the 2 of you would sort of be successful at the same time and like grow at the same time. But the thing is, like, I feel like you, group number 1, have been doing everything you can to grow and heal and be strong, like even in your personal life, like with your goals, like you're reaching your goals, you have a momentum in life, and this person thought they would be moving alongside you in that, like with their own goals, but they haven't been. And I don't know why that is. Maybe this person has a skewed way of looking at how hard they're working, and I've seen this in some people's at times where, especially if they're a creative or a business owner, they think that they're doing everything they can to reach their goals and to become successful, but they really aren't working as hard as they think they are, and it's sad to say and it's hard to say, but I really do see that in people sometimes, where like they have this huge goal in mind. They're like, why isn't it happening? Why isn't this happening for me? And it's like, you're not working as hard as you realize. Like you're not putting in as much action as you realize, because some people get disillusioned. They think that like reading books about what they want and seeing other people successful in what they want and like overly preparing themselves is productive. That stuff is not productive at all. Being productive is taking the actual actions that will get you closer to your goal. And so this person may get themselves caught up and consumed in like the mental, spiritual, emotional side of trying to manifest what they want without doing as much of the real action and work. And that may have also been a reason why the 2 of you separated. Like they may have thought like, oh, I do so much for this relationship, I put in so much work, etc. But they may not have done as much as they thought they were. I think that's a problem for them. This says established strength, but it is in reverse. So it's sort of like a blockage in seeing your goals realized and not understanding why. Like I'm getting this question, like, why can't I reach my goals? What is blocking me? And it's like they're just blocking themselves. They blocked themselves from having a successful relationship with you, and they're blocking themselves from their own dreams and goals by not putting in as much work as they should be towards it. Yeah, 4 of Cups in reverse. Like it's like, when will my circumstances change? And this says blended pleasure. In the universe, it's like the universe tried handing them this perfect soulmate energy, which is you. Like you guys really were compatible and like a good pair. And I feel like your ancestors, your spirits really supported this connection, because there's a lot of natural chemistry, charisma, similarities. You may have connected with each other on a deep level that you maybe have not connected with many other people on. And also with that full moon in Aries energy, there was a ton of passion and attraction in this connection. And to me, it seems like they sort of ignored that. Like, it's like, oh, when will love be mine? And the universe is like, it's right here. It's literally right here. Or like, when will my goals be accomplished? It's literally right here. All you have to do is take the action to reach out and accept it. But they couldn't do it. I feel like this is a case of self-sabotage. They sabotaged this. And you know what? I'm going to be completely honest here. And I'm sure you guys did your own part in this separation. Like you probably did your own things that you probably could have done better. I mean, that's any relationship, don't get me wrong, but this is their reading. So with this rune, I feel like they may have had a really big ego, and they maybe have made a lot of decisions in the past out of fear and ego, because ego is sort of fear. I feel like they're synonymous, because it's the fear that tries to keep you, like, it's like self-preservation, trying to keep you safe and protected. Like, oh, I'm actually big and strong and I know what I'm talking about. And, I feel like the ego really got in the way of love here. And with the 4 of Cups in reverse, I feel like now in separation, this person, first off, isn't over you. They don't understand why they can't just get over you. And the reason why they can't get over you right now is because they have not yet learned the lesson that this relationship was meant to teach them. That's the thing. That's the key to getting over people. Like, you will get over them once you finally learn the lesson that that relationship was trying to teach you and let it sink deep down into your bones, you know? And their lesson here was to not self-sabotage and to, you know, let go of the ego and let love rule. But they have not yet done that yet. So I wouldn't hold out hope for this person to come back a changed person, because as of right now, I don't think they are changed and they're still stuck on you, you know? And then we have the King of Cups in reverse. Yeah, there could have been some emotional manipulation here in this relationship, like woe is me type of energy. Woe is me, why didn't this work out, I don't get it. And you know, this could have been a situation where their ego was so big, like they wanted you to fight tooth and nail for them when they were rejecting you, you know, and you maybe didn't stand for that. And by rejecting you, I mean like they weren't putting in the effort, they weren't putting in or they were being defensive, argumentative, trying to get you to have all this sympathy for them and like, oh, you're just this troubled person who just needs all of my love and affection. And the problem with that is that they didn't want to give that in return. They wanted you to chase them, and a lot of you have a self-esteem, so did not allow that to happen. And I feel like they're still in that energy of like, woe is me, woundedness. And you know what? They're going to stay hooked on you. They're going to stay stuck on you until they can learn what that's all about. You know, with this crossed energy here, choice is stuck, searching for a purpose, daydreaming, indecision. They're going to be stuck. They're in this, at this crossroad until they, you know, heal this within themselves. It's, you know, sad, but that's their journey. That's their problem. That is not your problem. And I do not blame you for letting this relationship go, letting it, you know, become separate. They were not ready to have a healthy long-term connection. You know, they didn't do enough of their own inner healing work to have a high-level relationship like that, and that is on them. That is not your problem, okay? So, I mean, what now? What do I want to do? All right, I didn't really prepare the ending of this reading, but let's get some cards and ask for some advice from the romance angels. Let's ask them for what you should do about this connection. Okay, so what should you do about this separation, if anything? Like, what's the romance angels' messages for you? We have stay optimistic about your love life. Positive thinking and faith will bring you romance. Yeah, some of you are letting this situation, the separation, make you a little bit bitter. Maybe, you know, you've just been through one too many heartbreaks and losses in these past several years in your lifetime, and you're at the point where you're like, man, is this about time that I give up on love? Like, for the longest time, you may have had a very resilient heart, and this separation it just hit different. I don't know how to describe it. And now you're like at a point where you're like, man, I don't even know if I want to put myself out there again, because I don't want to deal with this. And your romance angels are saying stay optimistic about love. You know, this relationship has taught you a lot about what you want in a relationship. I feel like this person embodied a lot of characteristics, a lot of traits that you would really love in a partner. They just weren't ready for the relationship itself. And so Spirit is saying take that energy, those feelings you felt with this person, the positivity, the sunlight energy, and ask yourself, what if I had these same traits in someone else, and that someone else is emotionally available, is ready for something serious? That is your soulmate. And your spirit guides, your romance angels, don't want you to give up hope and faith that that's coming in. Retreat. It is time to disconnect from the world. This is your permission to go on more vacations, go on more adventures, explore more. Okay, that could be like the healing balm to the soul, just keeping yourself busy, having new experiences. Yeah, unrequited love. This is what I feel like you maybe felt with this connection. Like, you maybe were questioning yourself, like, did I really love this person more than they loved me? And this says there's not enough attraction or chemistry to keep this relationship going. And the thing is, like, this may have come off as unrequited love, but as we mentioned, they only have eyes for you. They have all of these feelings for you. Their ego is so big that they literally do not show the feelings they have fully, because it's so toxic. I don't even know how to describe this because I cannot empathize with this at all. But they didn't want you, or they don't want people to get a big head about things. It's weird, it's like they have an ego, so they want people to chase them. They want to feel like you love them more than they love you, because that puts the power into their hands. But the reality of this relationship was they were really in love with you, and they were trying to play it off like they weren't, and that started having them act out in really weird ways and having hostilities and maybe even some manipulation. It was very strange, like towards the end of this relationship, because I think that this person had a ton of feelings for you, but they just didn't let themselves show it through their actions, through their words. And I feel like you weren't playing those games, like I'm not sticking around to play these hot and cold games. This person really has control issues. Like they need to feel like they are in control of relationships, and they feel that by like making people think that they don't like them as much, which is really weird and toxic. And I hope they heal from this. I hope they do the work, because they are a nice person. Honestly, I see why you liked them and how you could connect with them so much, and the attraction here. But like they got some serious inner wounds that need to be healed, and only them can do that. That's out of your control. I wouldn't wait for this person. I wouldn't, hold out hope for them. Like, let's just send some good vibes their way, ask spirit to help them become a better person, and then let them go. That's what I would recommend. Okay, from the Lover's Oracle, this is the card that came out. And it says, don't make decisions based on guilt or what you think you should do, for it is only in being true to yourself that you can be true to others. Yeah, and that's the thing. I don't feel like this person really allowed themselves to be true, like allowed their true feelings to shine through. It feels like, and you know what, I'm going to call you out here too, because you connect with people who are at a similar vibration to you. I feel like you both had walls around your heart and extreme feelings for each other, and so that played out in really weird dynamics. But yeah, just be true to yourself in future relationships, guys. Like if you are really fangirling over someone you're dating, let them know. Don't be afraid to get corny. Don't be afraid to, show your feelings as soon as they start coming up. If you meet someone new and you're feeling like Morticia and Gomez Adams like a few weeks in, just start acting like that. You know what I mean? Like if you want to call them all the cute names in the world, call them all the cute names in the world. Like just be true to yourself. Don't put these walls around your heart, because it turns into this to this relationship that has ended. So is there anything else? Any final messages? I feel like we need one more card, and there it is. Okay, so this is what it looks like. And it says trust. Transformation occurs through acceptance. Once you accept the current situation, it will automatically transform. So yeah, guys, what this means is I think it's time for you to accept that this relationship is over. That even though they have equal, if not more, feelings than you do towards them, they are acting out in an unrequited love type of way, like trying to make it seem like you like them more or whatever, and that's just not healthy. We have to accept that this person is not at a place to give us what we want, and that's fine. And we can't force them to change. We can't force them to heal any faster than they are. We can't force them to talk to us, and that is fine. And I feel like once you accept that this is in separation, this is over, and you stay optimistic about your love life, and you take the traits that you loved from this relationship and understand within yourself that you can find these same traits within other people who are emotionally available and ready for something serious, I feel like it will automatically transform your life and bring in the love that you're looking for. But it's going to require you to accept, like, yeah, this is done. This is over. And you know what? I feel like your higher selves are really great friends, you and this person. However, there seemed to be some lacking when it came to physically trusting each other and bringing that high level, like 5D friendship and relationship down into our everyday life. Like there was some trouble there, and we just have to accept that for what it is. Send them love for their journey, and accept the love they send you on your journey forward, and like go your separate ways. That's what it's seeming like. You know, if they want to come back a changed person, that's on them, but we can't wait for that. We can't try to force it to happen. And so the message here is to really just accept the situation for what it is. So thank you guys so much for joining me. Like this video, comment how it resonated down below, and subscribe to the channel if you've not already. If you want a personal reading with me one-on-one, the link to that is always in the description box, spiritpsychic.org. And all of those readings, you ask your own questions, you talk about your own relationship. So if you have questions about this connection, you can feel free to get a personal reading on it. And I'll only be focusing on your energies, not a group. So it's very beautiful. I have many different types of readings there. Some of them are more structured with, what's the word? Why can't I think of the word? With tarot spreads. So you don't have to really think of anything. And then other ones, they're guided based off of your questions. So the link to that is in the description box, spiritpsychic.org. I also offer my intention oils there and spiritual life coaching sessions there, so check that out. Also check out Otter Spirit and their beautiful jewelry. Use my coupon code for a discount. That information will be in the description as well as the comment section. Okay, so check it out. Bye-bye. Hello, group number 2, and welcome. Let's see what the person that you're in separation with is thinking, feeling, what their emotions are towards the separation. So the rune that came out for them is Thorisaz, and it is coming out in this inverted position. And to be honest, guys, this is the rune of boundaries, and when it comes out inverted, it's very severe. And to me, this shows, usually this comes out in reverse when we're talking about someone who is not really a nice person, or there's someone that we have to protect ourselves from. So the vibes aren't there. This reading, I don't know what happened between you and this person, but I want to see what other cards come out, because right off the bat, this isn't really a good sign. Like, this isn't someone that I would necessarily want to be worrying about. Also, as we're talking, this huge gust of wind just like came through my office and started blowing away some of these oracle cards I was about to shuffle up and use in your reading. And the window's been open all day, so it had all day to be gusting these huge winds, but the second I start your reading, these big winds come in. So I feel like there's some pretty severe energy here, but let's see what that energy looks like. Okay, so we have contract in reverse. Angel of Strength. With Mama Moon, she comes out with the message of full moon in Libra, a win-win outcome is forecast. Roots, endowment, ancestry, memory, legacy, tradition. And then from the angels, we have don't stop. And we have it's up to you. This is a mysterious type of reading, guys. I feel like with the Roots card, this person does still think about this connection quite a bit. There's a lot of memory here, a lot on their mind. But with contract in reverse, man, and with Thorisaz in reverse, I feel like there were things about this relationship that you weren't seeing. And specifically, you could have had, if you're like really spiritually connected, you could have actually had a guide or some spirit tell you like, hey, this person isn't what they seem like, or there's something amiss here. I just feel like there's something where they were intentionally trying to get more out of the connection with you than they were giving. And it does feel very intentional and yucky in that way. Because it's one thing, I mean, I see relationships all the time where people just haven't done the healing and subconsciously, you know, they act out their traumas, whatever. But it's all subconscious, you know, like people could be a bad partner, a bad friend, but they're not understanding what they're doing. But this feels a lot more intentional, a lot more like mind gamey, with contract in reverse. And if it's not this person, then it's you. It's one of you guys. One of you guys purposefully like screwed the other person over. And I'm not saying like this person, if this was a relationship, they cheated on you or lied to you. However, if you already are aware that they did something like that, then obviously that's what we're talking about here. But it just feels very intentional. Like while you guys were in contact, they were intentionally trying to, I don't know, get more energy out of you than they were giving. So I don't know why Spirit wants to talk about that. I feel like it's almost saying like, why do we care what this person thinks? Like you don't realize how bad they were actually treating you. Let's see. This is one of those readings where I feel like I'm going to need to pull a lot of cards, get a lot of clarification, and then like several minutes in, it'll finally all start clicking together. I'm not ignoring you. I'm busy is coming out. We have, I get nervous around you. So while you guys were together or in a relationship, if one of the things were like you didn't like how little they were talking to you or how long it took them to respond, I feel like this genuinely was somebody who was busy. And some people just don't naturally feel inclined to look at their phone as often. I mean, I'm one of those people. I am so bad at texting, but like I'm consistent, you know? Like I will try to answer all of my emails and text messages within 24 hours, and sometimes I'm not able to do that. But yeah, this person was actually busy. They never intentionally tried to ignore you. So maybe that was an incompatibility between you guys. Oh wait, I didn't even see this card came out. I am not worth the wait. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm feeling here. Like this message from Spirit, it's like, why are we diving into this person's energy? Like it's not worth it, because there were things about this person that I don't know, it just feels like they intentionally tried to get more out of you. And because you're in separation now, it's equal, it's even. I feel like you did the right thing by walking away from this and accepting this is over and done with. I need to get the tarot. This is just one of those readings where I feel like we'll get more messages, because I'm still stuck on that strength card. Like, what does that mean? And it's up to you. Don't stop. Like, what do these cards mean? Thori says in reverse, this is a very significant rune. It's a rune that we don't ignore. 8 of Wands, swiftness. Okay, I'm wondering if this is the type of person that maybe love bombed you a little bit in the beginning. Was answering you right away, taking you out on dates, or really giving a lot to the friendship. And then over time, they stopped doing that. Very inconsistent. Ace of Wands in reverse, yeah. Yeah, this is that inconsistent passion and effort and energy. Also, Ace of Wands in reverse is not a good sign here, because this to me can be like someone who is looking for that nookie, you know? Like there are motivations here that aren't necessarily worried about having a long-term healthy friendship or relationship. Queen of Cups. Yeah, and I'm viewing this as you guys. Like you came into this connection with an open heart. And now, guys, I'm going to say from this perspective, I just want to be very clear here, though. For like a few of you, maybe 1 or 2 of you watching, this could be in reverse, where maybe you were the one who wasn't serious and you're the one who, you know, we're describing here. And if that's the case, We live, we learn, we do better in the future, okay? So don't get offended if you feel like you're the person who messed up here and maybe like, I don't know, cheated or wasn't looking for anything serious, but then, actually, I'm starting to get messages now. Wasn't looking for anything serious, but then caught feelings later on. And then those feelings got messy. It's starting to come together. Thank you, people watching who like are this person, because you're helping me out a lot right now, tuning into your energy. I feel like this person, they came in very quickly with some love bomby type of energy, you know, being very romantic or really into the friendship or whatever. Perfect person, wanting to go out, have a lot of fun. They were doing that with the intention of not having anything long lasting or serious. And then you came in, Queen of Cups energy, which is very serious and open. Honestly, Queen of Cups and King of Cups are like the ideal romantic partners. You know, somebody who has good boundaries, but they're also open. They make people feel really special, heard, seen. And you're the type of person who like really gets people talking. People feel comfortable sharing like their deepest, darkest traumas and secrets with you. And when they do that, they become attached to you. You know, I think that's natural. That's why oversharing is a bad thing, because when you overshare with the wrong people, you can become attached to them. So yeah, let's see how the story keeps unfolding here. Strength is coming out again. Wow. Strength is actually a really good card, usually. It represents mastering one's emotions and allowing yourself to go through the dark night of the soul and embody your shadow side, understand your demons, your monsters. So this person, I feel like wherever they went wrong in this connection failing, they are fully aware of that and taking personal accountability for that. And they're using the separation as a means to grow and learn and evolve. Okay. The Seven of Wands, protection. We have Thurisaz, we have the Seven of Wands. I don't know, guys. This is a really difficult reading because I feel both of your energies, both of your stories are starting to blend together. And it's like, who was the person here who was only looking out for themselves, who treated this like it was like, you know, just a casual thing, but then caught feelings later on and was trying to, you know, gain more from it than they were giving? And who is the person who is victim? I almost feel like with the full moon in Libra, you both may have contributed equally. Like you both may have had these qualities about you equally, like your good sides, your light sides that loved each other, had this strength, this ability to take accountability in the relationship, in the connection, grow and evolve. But then you also had your sides, your shadow sides that, I don't know, may have made the other person feel like they weren't special. Like, for example, the I'm not ignoring you, I'm busy. This could have been you. This could have been them as well, you know, with communication. Like you could be two busy people, but I don't know. Maybe both of you had some walls around your heart a little bit. And especially this with it's up to you. I feel like both parties are a little responsible here for the downfall of this connection, unless someone cheated or broke the boundaries and agreements of this relationship, because I do see that with the contract card coming out in reverse. This is a difficult reading. I'm going to be honest with you. Most readings flow pretty smoothly. This one is shrouded in mystery. So I am wondering if you and this person have like protective auras and rituals over you to prevent people from reading into you. We have the Eight of Pentacles. For example, like if this person knows that you read tarot or you're into tarot, for example, and they're also a spiritually minded person, they may have set intentions to not be read or protective spells over themselves to not be read if they're into that. I am feeling that from quite a bit of them, which is really interesting. Yeah, but in separation, this person I feel like is just trying to work on themselves overall, trying to get their goals moving forward. And with 8 of Pentacles here, it's like perfecting something. So they could be learning something new, trying to perfect what's going on. Man, this just isn't a good reading. Maybe it's specific to you guys. I don't know your situation, so I have no idea what I'm saying and what I'm talking about. Let me know down below, I guess. Let's see, 4 of Wands in reverse. And it came out with the 6 of Wands in reverse. This was definitely a relationship that had a ton of potential. And this person may have had visions of sharing a life with you. Like they saw you as this Queen of Cups here, like the perfect partner for them. And I guess like in their mind, maybe they weren't ready for that. Or they made the decision that they wanted to wait or something like that. And you know, when a good deal presents itself to you, you have to take action on it, you know? You can't wait, because if you wait long enough, that deal is not going to be there anymore. It's going to come at a higher price. Okay. We have the King of Wands in reverse. Yeah, this is telling me a lot. This person, I feel like you saw the potential in them to be someone who could be a really great, serious partner. And they do have a lot of mature qualities and leadership and just a very fiery, fun personality. However, how do I even put this? It's not that they were acting out in an immature way. It's just that I don't think they were ready to let go of this sort of lifestyle of, I don't know, getting a lot of attention from multiple people, or let go of this lifestyle of like being a bachelor, bachelorette, whatever. And they saw you as like the ideal, perfect person for that. They honestly saw you as like the one for them. But they were fighting some demons within themselves. Also, I'm just noticing now that there's a lot of lions here, so there could be a lot of Leo energy in this group. They were fighting the demons within themselves and constantly having this back and forth in their own mind of like, man, this is the perfect person and I don't want to waste this opportunity. However, like, I don't know, there's still so much more of the world to explore and so many more people to meet. You know what I mean? And I don't want to say this is the right person, wrong time, because that's not what I'm seeing. And honestly, I don't believe in that phrase at all. I feel like everyone finds you at exactly the right time. And with Thorisaz, with I am not worth the wait, this is the type of person where I don't think they're ever going to be ready for a really high quality relationship like this, like that you were wanting. And by high quality, I mean like a deeper investment into each other. Yeah, they keep themselves busy with many different things, many different friends, many different goals and things like that. So it's like this person doesn't make the space in their life for a serious partnership, and I don't think they want to. And yeah, actually, see, it's all coming together. I told you this would happen. It's up to you. They made the decision on their own. Like, I don't know if I'm ready to give up this lifestyle. You know, I don't know if I want to give up this life. There's so much more of the world to see, so many people, which is kind of weird, you know, because I'm sure you're thinking like, yeah, but like we could have saw the world together, or like still had our other friends and meet new people or whatever. I mean, heck, I understand the pain. I'm literally polyamorous, and I've had people say to me like, oh, I'm not ready to like just settle down and like commit to one person. It's like, I don't want you to commit to one person. You know what I mean? Like, if they don't want to, they don't want to. And that's the beginning, middle, and end of it. And I think that's why 30 says is coming out in reverse for you. I am not worth the wait. You know, these messages here are saying like, look, this person just, they wanted a certain lifestyle and then they met you and they do love you. Queen of Cups, they do love you. And Hangman in reverse. Yeah, I feel like you're going to be waiting forever for this person, which is why the message is here not to wait. Because they're showing up as the King of Wands in reverse, which is someone who is like, I don't know, they think they're all that in a bag of chips, you know? And like, yes, they have so many good qualities that I'm sure you saw in them. They could be like very well cultured, well read, just fun to be around, honestly, like having a good conversations with them. Like you could probably talk for hours, you know. There's also probably a lot of attraction here, but I just don't think they are willing to put in the work to have a long-term healthy relationship. I'm talking so slow because I feel it's very hard to articulate the energy I'm picking up from them. They're a very confusing person because it's like they wanted you, yes. And I think they were more than capable of having a great relationship with you. And it would have been really great. But they psyched themselves out. And they didn't realize that all of that novelty, explorative energy that they still wanted access to, they could have had while also being with you. Does that make sense? Like maybe they're like, oh, I can't commit to a relationship. I want to travel the world. And you may be somebody who literally travels the world. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, well, you could have actually traveled to more places if we were together. Like, you know, get some discounted trips, save money, share a bed, you know, whatever. Like it would have been cheaper, but whatever. You know, it's just, I don't know. This person doesn't seem to be wanting to be tied down. Because that's the thing. They view these types of high-level relationships as being tied down. And that's just a toxic way to view relationships. Like, relationships should be uplifting, freeing, supportive, not something that ties you down. Not the old ball and chain, you know? So I don't know. I just think this person has a bad look on things when it comes to love and relationships. However, I do got to give them credit because they are doing a ton of work on themselves and taking really good care of themselves mentally, physically, and emotionally. And I think they will eventually, you know, get over this. But this is the wind I'm telling you about. This is not someone you should be waiting for, okay? We have Temperance coming out as the final card here to represent like how they're feeling, how they're thinking. They do have a lot of emotions over this, a lot of feelings towards you. And I think a part of them might always be a little bit haunted by the fact that they let someone like you go, to be honest. And that's not really going to go away with time. You know, I've met people in their 60s or 70s even who have still talked about the people they dated like in their 20s. And how, oh, I should have put in more time, more effort, you know? This song reminds me of that person. I've heard people say that, and I feel like that's going to be this person with you. Yeah, but again, it's not something you should wait for. All right, we're going to get some messages from the romance angels for you now. Okay, 2 cards came out. This came out for group number 1 too. Trust. Transformation occurs through acceptance. Once you accept the current situation, it will automatically transform. So yeah, once you accept that like you can't change this person, you can't wait around for them to commit to you, I feel like you will automatically just start making better choices when it comes to your love life and open yourself up to new people who maybe have some similar qualities that you enjoy from this person, you know, like the good banter, the warmth, the fire, the attraction, all of those things that you enjoyed with this person. Spirit is saying, like, this relationship you had was a good example of what you should look for in the future, in future partners. And then we have this card. And this says, the past is now behind you. Exactly. Oh my gosh. Release it and embrace new possibilities. A new path is now available to you. Follow it with faith. Oh my gosh. Yes, this is totally in alignment with everything we've been saying here. Like, this person is not worth it, not worth getting readings on, to be honest. And I'm a tarot reader. I benefit off of you getting readings, but I will be the first to tell you, this is not someone worth getting readings over, because I just feel like it's over. It's done. They are not going to be in a place where they can meet you where you're at, because you are, just to be completely honest with you, you are much more available, ready, mature. You've done a lot more inner healing work than this person has done, and you continuously grow, evolve, and expand your experiences. You know, this person is never going to be able to catch up to you, is what I'm trying to say. And by waiting on them, by like hoping and pining for them, they're just going to drag you down, you know, and that's fine. I'm sure this person will meet someone if they haven't already. You know, for some of you, they could have already, you know, met someone else that is much more on their level, which is sort of beneath where you're at. Like, I nobody is better or worse than anyone else. I just want to make that clear. However, it's we all are at different points in our healing journey, and how available we can show up in relationships. You know, people can only meet you as deeply as they have met themselves. And if you're somebody who has a beautiful relationship with yourself, you know yourself very well, and you continue to evolve and grow that relationship, you know, you can't expect people who might not be as far ahead as you are to catch up with you. And I think this was a great experience, you know, this connection. It has taught you a lot. It exposed you a lot to what you want. I feel like low-key, this showed you some of your desires that you want in future relationships. And Spirit is now saying it's best to just leave this in the past. Don't go knocking at these doors that already tried closing on you several times. I just don't think this person is it. Okay. All right. I almost don't even, I don't know why. We're talking a lot about you, a lot about the relationship. And I've noticed that these messages that are coming through aren't very them-centric, as in like what they're feeling towards you. And I don't think you knowing how they feel towards you is going to be helpful towards you. You know, like if I told you, oh yeah, this person still thinks about you all the time and they miss you so much. Like, I don't want to give the illusion that you should wait for them or you should keep getting readings on them. I've noticed that message has sort of been blocked in this reading quite a bit. And even with 30 Saz coming out in reverse, like this could even be Spirit saying, you know what, boundaries. We're not going to read into this person a whole bunch, but here is what you should know a little bit into what they're thinking and feeling, but also like more so just know about this relationship and its ending and what's in the future. I feel like sometimes Spirit blocks certain messages from coming through in readings when it's not in our highest good to know those messages. Also, this person may have some protection around them and may not want to be read. All right. Messages from the romance angels. We have honeymoon and religious factors. Enjoy the bliss of holiday time together. I feel like this is actually you just going off and having beautiful travel experiences and seeing more of the world, more people in general. And then religious factors. Your love life is influenced by your religious upbringing and spiritual path. There could have been a heavy spiritual component to this relationship you had here, especially with all these angels coming through. And that may be something that you really connected to this person on and what made it very special. So I feel like this whole relationship really just illuminated what you should look for moving forward in the future. Like almost like it would be great if I could manifest a very similar person to this in the future, but somebody who like has the foundation that good relationships need, such as like good communication, self-care, all that jazz. emotional availability. It's like, if I could get this, but in an emotionally available package, that would be great, universe, you know? That's sort of what I'm seeing here. Or some of you, I am seeing also some problems may have come up with religion and spirituality if you had completely different religious views, but your spirituality was similar. Does that make sense? So it's like your morals and the core of your beliefs are the same, but stupid things like religious politics may have clashed a little bit. I don't know what I'm trying to say. It's like you're thinking the same thing, but you're using different sets of words to describe it. That may have caused some clashes, but also simultaneously, like some chemistry. I don't know. Your love life is influenced by your religious upbringing and spiritual path. I think spirit wants to see you with someone who has similar beliefs and views as you, like similar morality. I think you'll get a lot of fulfillment out of that. Not necessarily that you need that in a partner. You know, I've had many successful friendships and relationships with people who think that psychics are shams. Straight up. They always change their mind after a while of being a friend with me, but it's possible. I don't know. I think overall message here, Spirit just wants you to move on, to be honest. Thank you guys so much for joining me, though. I love you all, and I'm sorry if this was not the message you wanted to hear. I mean, yeah, this person still is thinking about you a lot. Like, they're going to be haunted by you a little bit for the rest of their lives. But with the full moon in Libra, a win-win outcome is forecast. I feel like you're both going to find someone much more suitable for your individual traits and where you're at. So I think you'll both have your happy endings, but I'm not seeing this as with each other. And the full moon itself, it's a time to let go, you know? It's a time of release. So you'll both get your happy endings, but we need to release this before that happens. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Like this video, comment how it resonated down below, and subscribe to the channel if you've not already. If you want a personal reading with me one-on-one, the link to that is always in the description box, spiritpsychic.org. I also offer my intention oils there and spiritual life coaching sessions there, so check it out. Also check out Otter Spirit to get some good discounted jewelry using my coupon code, and I will see you guys later. Bye-bye. Hello, group number 3, and welcome. Let's see what this person is thinking or feeling about this separation that you guys have gone through. They have Nauthies coming out, the rune of necessity, and to me, this is showing that they may not have necessarily wanted this relationship to get to where it's at currently. Like, they may not have wanted to be like in no contact with you, in separation, whatever. And definitely this rune does show that they may be feeling a little bit crossed by it. You know, their confidence specifically may have really taken a hit from the separation, and I will give them this, they are trying to turn this into a positive sort of like character building experience. They're trying to move forward in life and take the wisdom that they gained from this relationship and, you know, let that guide them moving forward. But yeah, they're not necessarily feeling great about where you guys are at. This definitely can show that they're not necessarily over this relationship either. However, they're trying to make the most of it. So we have the 5th chakra in reverse with Archangel Gabriel, and this to me shows that their throat chakra is closed or severely blocked. And this could show up as them not being able to really communicate their feelings to you in a way that, you know, is healthy and flowing and mature. You know, this person, for example, may have ghosted you, or just, I don't know. It's like you can probably psychically feel that they have a lot more emotions about this. And if they only just spoke about those emotions and talked it out, maybe this would have had a better chance. But their throat chakra is very weak. They're not good at communicating. Just to be honest, they're not good at communicating. And so that may have been what helped contribute to the downfall of this, and they did not want this to end. But at the same time, you can only go so far with someone when that need is not being met of like healthy, good communication. Especially if this is the type of person who they may be like, oh, well, I never lie to you. I never hide anything. But they don't say what's on their mind. I don't know why I'm getting people pleaser energy, like just agreeing to whatever you want, which is very dishonest. And they don't view it as a lack of honesty. They might view a lack of honesty as like straight up lying to someone. And they're like, well, I'm not a liar. I don't do that. But it's like also it's dishonest to just go along with whatever and not speak your feelings. Like if you're feeling a certain way about something, if something is bothering you and you're not mentioning that, that's just, I can't trust you, You can't really trust someone who always puts themselves last like that. And they may think they're doing the good, noble thing. Like, oh, well, I put everyone ahead of myself. I'm great. No, you're not. You're not. You're not, because you don't love yourself. I'm talking to them, not you. And that is dishonest. If I invited a friend out to go get sushi, for example, and this friend hated sushi, it made them want to throw up, like absolutely hate it. And instead of saying, hey, I hate sushi, why don't we go get soul food? They were just like, oh, well, actually, I'm busy. Or even worse, they agree to go and get the sushi and force themselves to eat it. And they're not having a good time. They're building resentment. And they just don't say those things. That is so dishonest. I don't like that. This isn't my relationship. Like, I'm picking up on your energy. And yeah, I don't like that. So I feel like they're still in that spot. And even in separation, psychically in the 5D, you may be like picking up on the fact that they're still hurting over this. And you might be like spiritually, psychically, emotionally at a place where it's like, if only they just said that, if only they just, reached out, if only they just said, hey, let's talk, like all of this would be behind us. We could make this work. I feel like that's where you're at, group number 3. But this person, they're definitely not at a place where they're capable of just speaking their emotions wholeheartedly, which is really sad because honestly, this is something that people should learn when they're children. And unfortunately, a very large percentage of the population, specifically a certain demographic of that population, which we're not going to name, are raised emotionally crippled. They're raised under the beliefs of like, oh, stop crying. Oh, don't get all emotional on me now. And then it makes it really, really difficult later in life in these deep relationships to just be open and honest emotionally. They feel like they're literally taught that emotions are something that are for you to deal with, for you to hide, and making your emotions, quote unquote, someone else's problem is a bad thing. And these forms of thinking literally are like emotionally crippling to a person. It makes me think of like a cat that gets declawed. When cats get declawed, it's basically like cutting off a person's fingers. It's just a miserable life. Like their claws are so important. And I feel like a lot of people are emotionally declawed in life. At a very young age, they're taught these very toxic beliefs. And they're literally trained, like, if you want to be a good person, you have to put yourself last. You have to keep your emotions to yourself. And if you're feeling any type of way about something, you're not allowed to express it. And then that leads to behavior like this, where it's like, hey, you want to go out to sushi? They secretly don't like sushi. They won't tell you that. They'll either make up some excuses to why they're not going, or they just will go and build a lot of resentment. And you can psychically pick up on when people are hiding things like that. And they don't view that as being dishonest. They view that as them, being a great partner, a great friend. It's so messed up. And it's like, no, you're actually being an awful partner or friend by doing that. But they think they're being good. So we can't blame them for thinking this way, because they were literally taught that is the way to go. Door to romance. Yes, this person really, really, really loves you. It's a sad reading, guys. This is a sad reading, because I feel like there is so much potential here. Like, so much good energy, so many feelings, like genuine feelings from both sides. A lot of romance. But, unfortunately, sometimes people just don't have what it takes. I don't know how else to put it. Okay. Let's see. This reading's stressing me out. Portal with the number 39. Originality, idealism, progression, opening, accessing. I feel like this person did access deeper parts of themselves than they ever had access to while they were in contact with you. You gave them a safe space to do so. But at the same time, I feel like you also don't want to sit here and be this emotional teacher, having to explain every little thing to someone. Like, yes, this is how you show affection. This is how you share your emotions. Like, it can be very draining having to reparent a full-grown adult into and molding them into the person that you need them to be. And you're not supposed to do that. That then puts this weird, unfair dynamic into play. It's draining. But yeah, you really opened up a lot of doorways to healing for this person in your time together. Full moon in Virgo, you are good enough. Beautiful. I don't know why I'm seeing you saying that to this person. Like, whoever told you you weren't enough, you are enough. Like, you're lovable. You made them feel lovable when their entire life they were raised to think they weren't. Made them feel beautiful when their entire life they were raised to think that they were ugly. So they're really missing out on your energy right now. Even doing this reading, I just feel sad. I want to put my hands in my face. I feel tired. Within the next few months, and ask for help from others. These are interesting cards to come out here. Let's get some more clarification. We'll see what these cards mean. Especially when we get the tarot out, everything will start coming together. But this is a little homemade oracle deck. Okay. I am not worth the wait. This came out for group number 2 as well. Do you even like me? You don't show it. And I'm not over my ex. This came out for group number 1. They're not over you, for sure. But also, if there was anyone before you that really messed them up emotionally, they're not over that. It's not necessarily that they might still be pining after that person, but the emotional damage that was done there, they're not over. And I don't blame that. What I'm feeling from this person is they were not given the tools in life to emotionally process in a healthy way. And so even like a breakup or a nasty relationship from years and years and years ago, that stays with a person who doesn't know how to emotionally process. And as mentioned, there is a very large demographic of people in the world who do not have the tools to healthily emotionally process. And some sort of big wounding, like a negative toxic relationship, may sit with that person for a really, really long time. Do you even like me? You don't show it. Here's the thing. This person didn't feel like you liked them or loved them as much as they loved you because, and here's the thing. You did. I feel that from you. You did. In fact, you loved this person tremendously, but they didn't see it because you would get frustrated at little behaviors this person would show you that just felt like common sense to you, you know? Like, for example, here's a random example. Like, maybe they would leave you on red for a while, like 24 hours, 2 days, 3 days, whatever. And then that would very much frustrate you. Like, wow, you're really going to ignore me like that? And then in their mind, they aren't ignoring you. It's like they read your text message and they're like, okay, I'll answer this when I'm not busy. And instead of saying, hey, I'm busy, I'll text you later, they just go about their day and they're like, I didn't do anything wrong. I don't know. It just feels like common sense things. Don't let people know that you're ignoring them. If you're busy, let them know. You know, if you really love someone and want to show them that they're important, take them out on dates. I don't know. Common sense things here, they really might have lacked. And also, that behavior we described in the beginning of this reading with the whole not sharing their emotions and thinking that they're a noble person by doing so could really have frustrated you. I would have gotten so frustrated with that. I understand where you're coming from. And maybe the conflict resolution wasn't that great in this relationship either, because you may have told them these things, and instead of, learning and embracing it and changing, they may have just explained to you why they are the way they are, but not changed anything. And then, that lack of changed behavior may have really set you off. And then now they're convinced, like, oh, they're mean to me, they don't like me. Like, no, I'm just frustrated that you don't have common sense when it comes to how to have relationships. Okay, we have the Lovers in reverse coming out as the first card. That's the separation right there. 3 of Cups in reverse, 4 of Cups in reverse. Some of you, this might be a bit more toxic than we are talking about, because I don't feel like for the majority of you this was a toxic relationship or separation. However, the more we get into it, I don't know. It's definitely a gray area. Because now I'm seeing a story sort of play out here where this person isn't properly able to show their affection and their emotions. And that may even come across as like them just being very blasé about you, not overtly romantic or showing affection, just kind of like coming off as an NPC, this person is. And you may have entered this relationship or come into this relationship being very loving, wearing your emotions on your sleeve, which is great. But then when they weren't doing the same or not showing up in the same way emotionally, that may have, caused you to call them out. And what they don't understand is that when you would tell them what was on your mind and what was bothering you, that was you loving them. That was you saying to them, hey, I really admire this relationship. I want to keep this friendship or whatever the heck this is going on with you. Here's something that's bothering me. Can we resolve this to keep being happy and healthy with each other? You quote unquote starting fights was you showing that you cared, showing that you wanted to fight for this. Like you wanted to show up. And that's the thing that, oh my God, it all comes full circle. That's the thing. This person was taught, like really, really sunken into their bones, that dealing with your own emotions is a noble thing. Okay, so when you show up in an actual healthy way, and you share your feelings with someone in an effort to keep the relationship going, they, instead of saying, oh, this person really cares, view that as, oh, you don't like me, do you? This person, man. And here's the thing, they're a good person. They don't have any negative intentions. But man, someone corrupted the way that they think and feel, and how they view emotions and feelings in relationships and how to process. Someone corrupted them. This could have been a parent, very emotionally closed off. The type of parent to say, stop your crying. Stop your crying right now. And really admired and encouraged people who, quote unquote, held it together, you know, didn't make their emotions other people's problems. But, you know, when you don't share that side of yourself, you are just taking away all of the intimacy and all of the, honestly, like, good parts of relationships. You're just taking it away, cutting it off. And then when you're in deep relationships with these types of people, like a deep commitment with them, or you're sitting here calling them your partner, your best friend, whatever, you can call them that on the surface, but it will always feel like you're just acquaintances. It's the weirdest thing. Like, the energy I'm picking up from you guys is so weird. And the very sad part about all of this is that you look back on this relationship and you may say, I just never felt like I could get deep with this person. I just never felt close and connected. And they look back and they view you as the person who got the closest to them. That's what's crazy about this. Like, how they treated you was actually them doing their best. And, well, sucks to suck, but, like, sometimes the best ain't good enough. Like, I'm sorry. Like, this is a sad situation. And also, the reason why I even went off on this tangent, where was I going originally? The reason why I said some of you this might be more toxic than we realize is because them saying, oh, you must not like me every time you bring up an issue, maybe had them, like, I don't know, how do I put this? Wondering, like, oh, maybe this isn't the one. Or like, oh, like, I don't know, like having a wandering eye, I guess, looking to other people, even if it's just friends, like looking to other people for fulfillment, which is just nuts to me. Absolutely nuts to me. This person has never had real unconditional love in their life until they met you. And then they finally have it. And I just saw 2020 on the timer. They finally have it and they don't recognize it for what it is. And that's exactly, like, if you look at the Four of Cups, that's exactly what this depicts. You know? And look at this. Even before this, we have the Three of Cups, right? In reverse, this is a lot of casual connections, like sleeping around, friends who don't really care about them, you know, friends who are just using them. They could have had all of that in their life. Friends that are just using them, these casual hookups or whatever, depending on the person, you know, these very surface level relationships that they do not enjoy, they don't like. And they may have been sitting here very displeased. Here's the three of Cups right in front of them in reverse. Very displeased with that, like lonely, wanting something deeper, wanting their person, their soulmate. Like, when will that come? They're in that mindset when they meet you, right? The universe gifts them with an angel that is you, group number 3. And they are so corrupted mentally, like not by their own will, but other people have corrupted them so much mentally that they do not see you for what you are in the present moment. They do not realize what a gift you are. And they really downplay, or not even downplay, they don't understand what is in front of them. It's like a completely different language they don't speak. You know, they don't realize that you fighting for this relationship is you loving them and wanting them to stay in your life and wanting a long-term future with them. No, they view that as, this person doesn't like me. It is so messed up. Oh my gosh. And here's the thing, they still have these feelings for you, but we're seeing things from their perspective. Eight of Cups. Wow, I'm just seeing the story play out here. Eight of Cups. Yeah, this is simultaneously you and them. This was you walking away from them because, look, they were okay. Okay, they were your 8 cups. They reached an 8-cup level in your life where, yeah, there were parts of the relationship, the friendship that were fulfilling. You know, they fulfilled some needs of yours. However, that lack of emotion, that lack of like, I don't know, just like intimacy. Like I said, it's like you could be on the surface, best friends, close relationships, but it always will feel like you're just acquaintances when that emotional intimacy is not there. And so, yeah, you were thinking like, I need my other 2 cups. Like I'm looking for a 10 of Cups reality, which is like your person, you know, ultimate emotional fulfillment and happiness. And this person's only giving 8 cups. It's not bad. You know, it's not toxic. It's just they're not giving enough. Now, simultaneously, this is where they're at right now because they view this whole story take place and now they're back to exactly where they're at, which is like they're also looking for their 10 of Cups. They didn't see that you could have been that 10 of Cups. But you know what the problem is? They couldn't make it to the 9 of Cups. And for those of you who don't know tarot, the 9 of Cups is complete emotional fulfillment, peace, and happiness with yourself as an individual. Being able to know yourself, sit with your emotions, enjoy your life as an individual. They are never going to be able to get to that place with this going on. And so 8 of Cups is the deepest they can go, which is on the surface like, oh yeah, we can hang out a lot. We can have sex. We can, you know, live together for all I care. But that deeper emotional intimacy and connection, they are so far removed from that they can't even access that consciously within them, their own self. It's not that they don't have emotions, they do. They are just, oh man, they were so far removed. Whoever raised this person, man, this whole family line, I feel, has emotional issues. And so, yeah, now currently where they're at, they still have all these feelings for you and they're not going to go away because, as we mentioned, this person does not process emotionally. So everything that happens just stays with them forever. They will always have these feelings for you until they learn how to emotionally process. It's just going to be with them. It's going to show up and repeat itself in their life over and over and over again, subconsciously, until they learn how to sit and process their emotions correctly. So these emotions aren't going anywhere. This love for you is not going anywhere. However, consciously, they've convinced themselves that you don't like them. So they're like, okay, well, now I'm off to go try to find someone who does like me, I guess. You know? It's crazy. You know, within the next few months, I feel like this person may end up in a new relationship, to be honest. And I just want to tell you right now, or even if they are currently in a new relationship, I just want to tell you right now, they're not going to treat the next person any better. I think that, honestly, this might be a story where you genuinely were the closest person to them and the closest thing they're going to get to that 10 of Cups moment. Because some of y'all, when you were with this person, you had your own problems. You know, we're not going to dive into that. But you were probably a lot more patient than you should have been. Okay? And a lot more considerate than you should have been, you know. And some of you, I feel like you're going to get to a point where you're going to be mad at yourself. Like, oh my God, I wasted so much time. But, you know, I really do think you were and will be the closest person that this person has ever gotten to. Even in their next relationship, I don't think they're going to get to that level. And, you know, I honestly have sympathy for the next people they date or befriend, because Oh man, I'm just not seeing them making any changes so far anytime soon. And honestly, like, some of you guys may have even been this person's like only partner, or one of the very, very few. And the reason for that is because they literally only have the capacity emotionally to have these casual friendships. And honestly, even the friendships aren't that great. You know, most of the friendships are either like very loose friendships or people who just straight up are using them. And like one night stand or like very casual sex relationships, like if they have a friends with benefits, for example, it will only last a few weeks max. You know what I mean? Like that is the deepest this person can go emotionally, which is crazy to me. It's a very sad way. I feel bad for them. Like, I don't hate this person at all. And I don't feel like you do either, because deep down you know that this is a good person and it's just the way they're raised. But that is so sad. Okay. The Empress. Oh my gosh. Yeah, they... I feel like this was you to them. You really unconditionally loving, abundantly giving and loving. And they don't have the experience, the knowledge, the tools to realize that there was an empress or emperor in their presence. And I think a part of them knew that, but this conditioning that they received forced them to like not be convinced of it. It's so strange. 5 of Wands in reverse. Yeah, there was probably a lot of arguing towards the end of this connection. We have the 3 of Wands. We have the 10 of Swords in reverse. Oh man. The universe is gonna teach this person. You know, there's no need to cast any spells on them, any hexes, or even praying for them. Like the universe, I'm seeing like actually like a team of angels here. I know this sounds so crazy to some of you, but this person has like a team of spirits, a team of angels watching over them, and they're going to try to undo certain things about how this person thinks and teach them and help them evolve. And those angels are coming through right now. And they want to talk to you, actually. And first off, thank you. These were the spirits that really encouraged the two of you to get together. They thought you would be great together and you would be great for them. And once they saw that this was really damaging to you, they realized, you know what, we got to keep this person single, or like we got to separate this because you're too good for them. And this team of angels wants you to know, like, we are going to help this person that you love, you know, evolve and be able to maybe one day accept and give love more freely, accept and give emotion more freely. And in the meantime, they're giving you a little bit of a warning here. They're saying, don't worry about them, because what's going to happen is that this person you're asking about is going to be going through a dark night of the soul at this time and very soon. And if you're a casual observer of their life, like let's just say you follow them on social media, or maybe you loosely keep in touch with them here and there, you're going to notice that they're going to be going through some really rough times. Okay, and these rough times are directly correlated with the same traits that caused you guys to separate. Okay, your angels are warning you of that, or their angels are warning you of that. And they're saying, we are protecting this person, and this is how it has to be. You know, like for example, this person that you're asking about may go through a rough time of like unemployment, homelessness, illness, I don't know, fill in the blank, like something like bad relationship after bad relationship. Because when you ignore your intuition, the universe has no choice but to get really, really loud with you. And that's where this person is at right now. And their personal spirit team, their personal angels and ancestors that watch over them, love you so much and you did so much good for this person. But they just wanted to let you know, no matter what you see, no matter what you hear, we are taking care of this person, and these problems that this person is going through, they need to resolve them on their own. They need to learn from this. And so their angels are sort of, how do I even describe this? Giving you so much grace, sending you so much love, giving you their blessing to go find love and happiness and peace with someone else. Because as great as you and this person were together in some regards, and as much as you wanted to happen, as much as they wanted to happen, as much as this was just a sad story, their angels are telling you, like, it's not worth it for you to stick around on this journey. Okay? Because you are already at a point where you deserve so much better. And it's not that this person is a bad person. It's just they're not capable right now. And they're going to go through several years long journey of unlearning this very toxic way in which they were raised. Yeah. Well, while the angels are already here, I wanted to get some messages from the romance angels in general. So let's ask these specific angels that are coming through, in addition to the romance angels, what their advice is for you, since it's already kind of coming through. What is their advice for you? Okay. 3 cards came out. All right. These are what they look like. So let's read this one. I'm pretty sure this looks familiar. I'm pretty sure this came out for group number 2. Yep, this came out for group number 2. The past is now behind you. Release it and embrace new possibilities. A new path is now available to you. Follow it with faith. Yeah, this is that blessing that we literally just talked about. Their angels are saying, hey, we love you. We loved this relationship, but we want you to move on because nothing good is going to come from staying here. And actually, if this relationship were to continue how it was going, or if it were to come back around, you're honestly enabling this person to keep acting in the way that they're acting. And so your angels, their angels, not even your angels, their angels are surrounding you and giving you a push forward. And actually they're acting as your angels now a little bit as well. They're like, but not really. They're seeing you off into your next relationship. So their angels will definitely be keeping tabs in with you, sending you peace, sending you love and protection, and seeing you off to a nice, healthy, fulfilling relationship. And I'm seeing their angels, even though you might not know them personally, are kind of like great friends to you. And I don't know, I'm getting this vision of them being at your wedding. But it's your wedding to someone else, not this person, Or you finding a new best friend, or whoever this person was to you. You finding someone else that is much more available and ready. Like, this person's angels are helping you find that for yourself and will be at some big celebration that you share with the new person. Isn't that crazy? It's kind of like your ex's mom, still texting you, still checking in, it's giving that energy. Okay. We also have this, and it says, when you pass from this world, you take nothing with you but your soul and the memories you have shared with those you love. Yes. Here's the thing, guys. I feel like this person to you was a soulmate in a sense. Like, your souls are really great friends. And in between lifetimes, you may have shared a lot of that loving energy with each other. But in this particular lifetime, this person is just a little bit too messed up. And I'm saying that for lack of better words, like, quote unquote, messed up to facilitate that 5D relationship that you have. And then we have this card which says, manifesting miracles. Your dream is soon to become a reality. Trust your heart and continue to follow its guidance. Beautiful. Yeah, and I think that heart and its guidance is what led you to walk away from this person in the first place. And that was the correct course of action. No one in spirit blames you. I don't even think this person themselves really blame you. Like, there is a part of them that's like, yeah, I would have walked away too. You're like, yeah, I get it. But, you know, there's other times when they're in their more shadowy energies where they may say to themselves like, oh, they don't like me. No, you dunce. You're just not somebody who's great at relationships. Not you, them. Oh, yes. Look at that again. And with the romance angels literally watching over you, calling in your soulmate. This is so aligned with all of the messages that the angels have been coming through for you. Like, these angels of theirs are trying to get you a new soulmate. You know, it's like, sorry, this soulmate is defective. Customer service will bring you a new one. That sounds so bad. To keep this person's great. I'm sorry. I don't mean to like bully them. Like, they're actually really, really great. But, you know, they need to go through, you know what it is? I'm seeing an image of them going into the heart, the belly of earth, and healing. They just need time in Pachamama, in Mother Earth. They just need time to incubate and release. And I feel like their angels are encasing them in this sort of like egg of just pure source energy, trying to resolve and undo some of the damage that they received in life. And yeah, that's it. That's all there is to it. They're not a bad person. They're not any better or worse than any of us. But yeah, calling in your soulmates. These angels are calling in a new soulmate for you. We all have multiple soulmates. Like, this is something I firmly believe. Soulmate literally just means friend of soul. And we've all lived so many lifetimes, and our souls are timeless. Spirit is a timeless place that just exists, you know? So to think like, oh, I only have one soulmate is so weird to me. Like, no, you have many soulmates, and they come in the form of pets and friends and lovers and relationships, and they don't have to last a whole entire lifetime. Sometimes they last part of our lifetime. Sometimes they last more, you know? There's a new soulmate coming in for you. Your prayers, affirmations, and visualizations help bring you together. Yeah, and this person's close. I feel it. You know, like I said, the person we're asking about, their angels are seeing you off to this new soulmate. It's very beautiful. I love this type of relationship. Trust. This situation is calling for you to have faith. And look at that. It's like, again, a little angel there, like enjoying you, falling in love with someone else, but also watching over the person that you're asking about. Okay. Oh God. Oh God. Such a sloppy shuffle. Final card out. Stay optimistic about your love life. I had a feeling this card was going to come out for you. It says positive thinking and faith will bring you romance. Yeah, again, this is just confirmation. Like, there's beautiful new love coming to you. Don't let this situation that you had with this person to make you bitter and make you give up on love entirely. Like, no, there's amazing soulmates out there who are emotionally available. And I know it can be hard to open yourself up to that when you gave so much to a different person, but stay optimistic, guys. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Like this video, comment how it resonated down below, and subscribe to the channel if you've not already. If you want a personal reading with me one-on-one, the link to that is always in the description box, spiritpsychic.org. I also offer my intention oils there and spiritual life coaching sessions there, so check it out. And also make sure you check out Otter Spirit to get your discounted jewelry using my coupon code or link. And I will see you guys later. Bye-bye.